What is going on? YouTube, back with the Prez. Monday, start of a new week of training. Last Monday of the month. Last day of March, March 31st, right? Wrapping up the final day of 100 pull-ups for the entire month. I started it 5 days prior to March 1st, right? So if you guys would have started March 1st, whatever exercise you would have been doing, you would have been accumulated by the end of today 3,100 total additional repetitions. I ended up accumulating a total of 3,600 to have an extra 500, right? So by the end of the day today, I'll be at 3,600 extra pull-ups done for the whole month of March. And like I mentioned to you guys in the previous video, the smartest way to continue a challenge like this for the month of April, which I'm going to continue another 30-day challenge, is I'm going to go into handstand push-ups, right, to balance out the body. I just did 3,600 vertical pulling motions like this, right, extra additional repetitions. I have to get some balance in by getting some vertical pressing in the same manner, right? I'm not going to go hitting 25 overhead presses a day with a barbell, but I can do it with bodyweight handstand push-ups, right? So that's going to be the goal starting tomorrow. Today's workout, we're going to start off with some skill and some strength work. I'm going to be supersetting handstand holds, priming my body. I'm going to be doing them weighted today, and I'm going to be supersetting them with some weighted pulls. For a nice little warm-up right now, though, I'm 50 reps in so far of my 100 for the day. We're going to do a nice 10 clip, which is going to count towards the 100. So we're going to get to 60 right now as a warm-up set. $60 total reps in for the day. The pull-ups that I do during the workout do not count towards my 100, right? Let's get a nice handstand warm-up set going. Oh, okay. Keep it going. Like I said, it's just warming up. Alright guys, like I said, we start the routine off with handstand holds. I'm going to throw my 12-pound vest on. Put a little bit extra stress on the shoulders, force more full body tension. I'm going to superset that with 62-pound pull-ups. So I'm going to leave the 12-pound vest on. I'm going to strap on a 50-pound kettlebell. I'm going to superset handstand holds into the pull-ups. I want to accumulate a total volume of just 20 repetitions. So I'm going to break it down 5 total sets, 4 pull-ups each set, and I'm going to aim for an 8 to 15 second handstand hold every single set. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so like I mentioned in the intro, I started the routine off today with some strength and some skill work. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be accumulating to start for the first week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to just be doing 25 handstand push-ups every day throughout the day, accumulating 25 reps of additional volume on top of my workout, just like I did with the pull-ups. I'm probably going to take a full week off of doing any pull-ups after today. And like I mentioned a few weeks back when I was mid pull-up sets, when I was mid-month of the 100 pulls a day, I said I'm going to retest my 1 rep max pull-ups. But the best way to do that is to let my body rest for a few days from doing pull-ups in total. So today's Monday, tomorrow's the first of the month, Tuesday, so I'm probably going to rest up until next Monday from pull-ups. Then Monday, I'm going to test my 1 rep max on pulls just to see if I built any strength from all the accumulated volume that we incurred all month. Now, like I said, starting off the routine, 5 sets of superset handstand holds and weighted pull-ups. So I'm wearing the 12-pound vest for the handstand holds. Like I said, the goal is to get at least an 8-second hold, and I'm pretty sure every set I catch 10 seconds. Really solid, clean form. You can see the line there, guys. The vest is just going to build added resilience to the shoulders, right? Your body's going to think you're 12 pounds heavier, so it's just going to add added load to the shoulders in the isometric position. So when I go to do my volume, my repetitions throughout the month, the handstand, the bodyweight reps should just be easier and easier. And then again, I leave the vest on, come right to the pull-up bar, and I got the 50-pound kettlebell right there waiting. And then we're just going, like I said, I want to get a total of 20 pulls, so every single set, it's 4 pulls after the handstand hold. So handstand hold, 10 seconds, superset with 4 weighted pulls for 5 total rounds. These 2 supersets right now, handstand pull-ups, handstand push-ups, and pull-ups, 2 movements that complement each other very well. They're biomechanically the same movement pattern, with just opposite forces. So the handstand push-ups, they're going to force the shoulders into almost full elevation because you're pushing down into the floor and elongating your body. And at the bottom of a pull-up, they're going to be almost in full shrug position where they're at the ears, but opposite forces are doing it. You're creating the force on one. In the handstand push-up, you're pushing into the floor. And on the pull-ups, gravity is pulling your body weight down, right? Very good for shoulder health. And again, these two supersetting them back-to-back, it teaches that full body coordination, that full body control, and it teaches the body how to move in unison, right? That's the benefit of calisthenic training. Working your body through space under control. All right, here we go, guys. Last 4 repetitions of the weighted pulls. And this is just the start of the routine, guys. This is very strength and very nervous system skill demanding. The handstand holds, they require a lot of central nervous system activation. That's why we have to do at least 5 sets of this, right? We want to engrave the movement pattern into the nervous system. The pulls, that movement pattern is engraved, but I've always said, with the handstands, when you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? But if you're someone who's had a handstand and trained them often in the past, you're going to get that skill and that nervous system activation back very fast, guys. Keep moving on. All right, guys, 5 sets of the strength work is done. Shoulders got a crazy pump in them right now. Lats are feeling good. Now we're going to get into some high rep body weight conditioning superset style. I got the dip bar set up. You guys saw the pull set up. We're going to be throwing in some horizontal rowing right now and some conditioning work. So 3 movements. Stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you what the third one is until you watch it. So dips, we're going to be aiming for 20 clips. Let's go. All right, guys, so 20 dips to start it off. And like I said, we're going to go right into a horizontal row. Now, I think in the front, my form on these rows for the first 2 sets especially are not the best. You're going to see I'm really letting my scap protract, where ideally you want to keep the back as flat as possible. My hips should be a little bit higher. But again, after the weighted pulls and after all the pulls I've been doing today and throughout the month, my lats are feeling this. And that was a great variation for actually targeting the lower lats. However I ended up doing those, I felt it deep into lower lats. And here, the third exercise, guys, here we get the real conditioning work in. Again, right into ball burpees. So 10 reps here, so for a total of a 40 rep clip, right? 20 on the dips, 10 on the pulls, or the rows for that matter, and then 10 on the burpees. This is going to have the heart rate elevated. It's going to keep the blood pumping literally all over the entire body. When you're doing the dips, the blood's rushing to the front, to the anterior body, right into the fucking chest. As soon as 10 burpees to end the round. We're gonna aim for 3 to 5 total rounds of this. About 90-second, 2-minute break max. Let's go. All right, guys, yeah, like I was saying, as soon as you're done with this set of dips right now, you're hitting these high rep dip sets, 20 plus reps, 15 plus reps, you're gonna be pumping a lot of blood into the chest, into the front delts, into the anterior part of your body. And then you go inverted into these tucked, inverted rows, right? With the feet not supported by the floor, everything suspended. You are fighting against gravity. The entire opposite muscle groups of the body are working. We're hitting a ton of upper back, a ton of lats, a ton of posterior delts, right? So the complete opposite movement, the complete opposite muscles are working now in this tucked row variation going from the dip. So now you got the blood trying to rush from the chest, from the heart, from the front of the body into the back. It's pumping into the back, right? That gets the heart rate skyrocketing. It really makes you feel uncomfortable. And then jumping right into a set of burpees after it, guys, that's where the discomfort really hits. That's where you start to feel that deep, deep burn in the lungs afterward, but that's what you're looking for, right? That's that conditioning. That's that full body coordination aspect, again, coming with the burpees. These three movement patterns, again, complement each other very well. Very chest dominant, too. The 20 dips to the burpees. The burpees, again, especially doing them on the ball like this, it keeps the hands in a diamond-ish position, forcing the humerus to be more towards the midline. Better for a chest contraction, guys. I ended up doing 3 full sets of this. You'll see the last one. And you can see this set of rows ends up being my cleanest, right? Not perfect, but my back, the lower back, I keep the hips high, right? The upper back is still protracting a little bit, but that's fine, that's natural, right? I'm really trying to focus on keeping the hips high, and you can see the range of motion greatly cut off, but it is what it is. The back got a ton of fatigue, and that's a great overall stimulus for the upper body right here. Guys, I gave you a little bit of bonus conditioning work at the end of this 3rd set, really keeping that heart rate skyrocketed now. Again, and I like to use these heavy objects during the conditioning work, right? Because it keeps the strength aspect high. It's full body work. Legs are getting engaged, shoulders are getting engaged, core, abs, delts. I already said shoulders, biceps, chest, everything, posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings. Everything gets lit up when you're doing these ball tosses, these ball lifts, these carries. It's a very full body, coordinated, strength-based movement, right? And we got the 60-pound ball to finish it off with. Good. All right, guys, after those dips and burpees, I had a crazy pump in my chest. And like I just mentioned, right, doing the burpees or a push-up for that matter, what you're seeing right now on the ball like this, it's forcing the hands to be in a diamond position, right? Now, this opposed to being on the floor, I'm actually grabbing onto an object and my hands are slanted slightly down. What the benefit of this has is that, one, I'm actually going all the way down, chest to the ball. Now, as opposed to when I'm going chest to the bar stops all movement of my chest. Right here, the ball is allowing my chest to sink in slightly deeper. And then when I go to push up and contract and lock out, I'm thinking about squeezing that ball together, and my hands actually get some actual squeeze onto the ball, which activates more fibers in the chest. Keeping your hands in the diamond position, right? It's forcing the humerus to stay more towards the midline, better for a contraction of the chest. And now at the top of each rep at lockout, guys, you're getting that maximum contraction because you're able to actually squeeze that ball together. And another benefit of these is, like I said, your chest gets to hit the ball, sink into the ball, get an added range of motion. And then when we press up, it's almost like we got negative energy or negative forces working against us, right? Because our hands want to push into the ball. When we're pushing off a solid surface, we create energy. Energy builds up, and we could build some inertia off of it. Here, you don't get that off the ball, so it's dead stop energy every single repetition. Great chest engagement. I did 30 total reps. You only just seen the first 20 here, guys. And then after the third set of 10, we moved on right into the garage here, guys. Of course, we got to balance out the body, right? That movement, again, it's very chest and internally rotated movement, right? Our shoulders stay internally rotated, which is very bad for overall posture, right? We spend a lot of our day internally rotated, sitting at a desk, talking on our phone, texting, just in general, right? We always have that internally rotated posture. Very important, guys. Train your posterior chain, specifically the rear delts. You guys have seen me do this many times. We're doing ring, reverse, flies, or you could call them Ys, whatever you want, but an excellent movement for the entire upper back, the upper posterior chain, the shoulders. You could consider this an isolation movement for the rear delts, right? Because we're really only utilizing the shoulder joint. Everything in the body is engaged. We have our hips engaged, everything's engaged, our core's engaged. Our elbow is slightly bent, but there's no movement at the elbow joint. All the movement is occurring at the shoulder joint, so you can consider it an isolation movement. I just did this for one set of 15 here, only filmed the first one. I did another set after it. I don't want the video to get too long and repetitive. And then I did one set right after the second set of reverse flies. I came and really blew up the shoulders. I got light dumbbells, just 15s in my hand. You can see I'm really trying to emphasize the negative, not letting the weights come to my full body. Right before they hit my thighs, I lift them back up. And this was legit a straight burnout right here. My delts, my shoulders were on fire. Exactly what I was looking for. If you have access to the weights and machines, there's no reason why you don't have to use them, right? They're only going to complement your calisthenic training, only going to complement your physique. And then we finished off back outside, guys, back on the dip bar. Deep pause repetition dips, again facing outwards, forcing the shoulders to externally rotate. And we end up doing a nice superset with this also, which you're going to see. So I just did like 5 or 6 repetitions of these pause dips, again, just to keep the shoulders back. And then something you haven't seen me do in a long time, very great for overall basic calisthenic skills, straight arm strength skills right here, guys. We're just going to be doing straight up, straight arm scap pulls. One set of 10 reps. Again, this is going to force the shoulders and the scapula to work in their natural range of motion. Set the shoulder blades back, because as you guys know, my right shoulder blade is, due to the elbow, internally rotates excessively, right? So anything I could do for a rehab or help that shoulder sit back, I'm going to start doing more and more. And here we go. I'm going to start incorporating these scap pulls a lot more often, guys. Wrap for the routine, guys. See you in the next one.
They all love to talk, you know they do that shit the most. Think you on my level, boy, but you ain't even close.